All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm so excited to be here. This is going to be a really fun class. As you can see, we've got all kinds of fun party items we're going to make, decor, favor bags, cupcake wrappers, awards. You probably can't see those because they're down here on my table, but this is what they look like. So fun. So for a costume party. So we've got lots of fun things to do, and we're going to highlight a few amazing We Are Memory Keepers tools in the process that can help your creating be so much easier and much quicker. And so just to get us started, I am going to introduce myself. And as I'm talking, I want you guys to post in the chat who you are, where you're from, say hello, and we'll chat for just a minute and then we'll get started. So I'm Aly Dosdall. I live in Utah near Salt Lake City, and I'm a mom of 5 kids, 4 adult kids and 1 12-year-old. And my husband and I just got back from a trip to Italy, so I'm still a little jet lagged. So if I don't make any sense at some point during this class, you'll know why. But we had a great time. It was kind of our 25th wedding anniversary celebration. So that was really fun. But I'm so excited to be here and to be crafting and to be with you guys. And I work for We Are Memory Keepers as their social media marketing manager and as, I don't know, I guess you could say brand ambassador, kind of the face of the brand. So I represent them on television, at workshops, trade shows, and in their videos on their YouTube channel. So I love We Are Memory Keepers. It's just such a unique, amazing brand that really is innovative and strives to fill the gap in the craft world with what's kind of missing. And so it's just fantastic to work for them. So let's see, Wendy from Portland. Hello, Wendy. Hello from Quijito, Ecuador. Hola, ¿cómo está? Hello from Centerville. Oh, that's my neighbor, Christine. She's right next door. Hey, Christine. Christy from Tallahassee, Florida. Welcome. Cottonwood Heights, Utah. That's Gail. Hi, Gail. So happy you're here. And I'm so excited we're going to be making Halloween stuff. It's kind of crept up on me this year. Joe from Orlando, Florida. Welcome. So glad you're here. And as was said earlier, there will be a recording of this later. So if you don't feel like, you can't keep up or you feel like you're missing out, no worries, because it will be recorded. And so you can always go back and rewatch it and, finish up whatever you can't get finished while we're together. So let's see. Hello from Arizona. Is that Victoria? I can't see that very well. Sorry. And someone from Tucson, Arizona, from Houston. Hello. So glad you're here. All right, so let me show you the projects we're going to make real quick and some of the tools and the supplies that you'll need, and then we're going to get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to make is these cute little witch hats. So these can be used as actual party hats. You can tie string on and use them as party hats, or you can use them just as decor. You can hang them from the ceiling, so they're kind of all, you can use them as a place marker, like, as for the table setting. So lots of options for these. They're really easy to do and lots of fun. Gift bags, we're going to make gift bags, and I just have a few different decoration ideas, to show you, but I'll show you how to make the basic bag and the tag that goes with it. And this is really fun one. It's like kind of acetate with bats on it, so it's clear. That's kind of fun. And then we'll make some cupcake decorations. We'll do the wraps and we'll do the little cupcake toppers as well. And then I already showed you the awards. So we'll make, first, second, and third place award ribbons. And you can add glue a safety pin on the back of here or glue a magnet so that you can attach it that way. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yes, behind me, bats. There's a template that I've asked to be shared. If we can, I sent a link in the email. So hopefully I forgot to mention that when we were chatting before the class started, but if you can just add that link from the email into the chat, that would be awesome. And then you guys can just follow that link and download that template. It's a template just to make these cute little bats with the glitter paper that we have for the class. So, and that's really easy. All right, so if we can jump to the overhead camera, I will show you the tools that we'll be using and the different supplies. So let me scoot these projects out of the way for a minute. All right, so the first tool we're going to use today is the We Are Memory Keepers, the Works All-in-One tool. And that's exactly what this is. It's all in one. There are 12 different tools, that are in this one board: cutting, scoring, stamping. This is a great stamping tool that's based on our precision press stamping tool that is super popular. But the idea is it's got these spring-loaded corners and magnetic board and magnetic here, so that when you're stamping, if you need to bulk stamp and you want to just stamp in the same place over and over again, or if you're stamping and you maybe miss a little spot and you want to re-ink and stamp again, this allows you to get that precision. So you're always putting this back in the same place. Wonderful tool. So that's one of the features. I'm going to put that aside because we aren't going to be stamping today. But in addition to the cutting, scoring, and stamping, you can do envelopes, you can do tags, tabs, like file tabs, you can do banners, you can do bows, tassels, pom-poms, you can punch 1/4-inch holes, and you can round corners. So it really is an amazing tool. If you don't have this, if you pick up anything, purchase anything from this class, I would definitely get this. This is my favorite. All right, so the next one is the DIY party board. This is great. If you like to make your own party decorations, I would recommend this for sure, because this will do your cupcake wraps. It'll do treat cones, ice cream wraps, cup wraps, coffee cup wraps. It'll do party hats, anything cone or cylinder shaped you can make with this. It's fantastic. The other couple of tools we're going to use is this punch. This is a punch anywhere punch. It's called the clear cut punch. It's a scallop circle 2 inches. This is great to have because you can punch anywhere and on a large sheet of paper, and you can see what you're doing. Then the other one is this set of circle punches. They're called the layered punches from We Are Memory Keepers, 1.5, 1 inch, and 5/8 inch. And you just can't go wrong with your basic circle punches. So if you don't have those, definitely grab them. You'll need a glue gun, hot glue gun. You'll need scissors, double-sided tape, a little twine, and then here's the back template. So you can download this and print it later on, but there's 2 different sizes, large and small. And then what you can do is cut this out, put that on whatever paper you want, trace it, and then cut that out. So I'm going to put that aside for a minute, and let me show you the paper collection we're going to be using in the stickers. These are so fun, you guys. I went to Michael's to go shopping for this class, and I fell in love with these cute little Halloween stickers. So we're going to use the pumpkins, the booths, the spiders. Oh, I think I'm missing a set. Oh, there it is. Nope. Well, all right, I'll show you a partial one that I used. So here it is. It's got some other things on it, but these are flat glitter stickers. Lots of fun Halloween things. And these are my favorite right here. These are layered stickers, cardstock stickers, and they have glitter and silver foiling, and they're just the cutest thing. And I'm missing a few because I used so many of these. I used 2 packs of these. So definitely grab those. Then we've got the glitter 8x8 paper pad. It's got glitter and it's got a couple of just solid regular colors, but this is great. All your Halloween colors. So we're going to use that. We're going to use these stickers, these Recollection stickers. And then we're going to use this paper pad. Super cute, guys. Perfect for Halloween. There's gold foiling, glitter, acetate. This is where the acetate back paper comes from. Anyways, you've got like large scale prints, small scale stuff, lots of great stuff. Okay, so that's what we're using. You can use any collection you want though, for sure. So let's get started. We're going to start with the hat. So we're going to make this hat, and this process is the same for any of them. So let me see, I got to pull my paper out. So I went through and grabbed a few that I like, and I'm going to just pull this one out. This is the striped one I'm going to use with some pumpkins down in the corner. And the cool thing is when you're using papers like this, like you can save these and use these. I used these later on in a, let's see, here it is right here. Nope, right here. Yeah, so I cut that out and use that as an embellishment on the other hat. So hang on to that. You can use that for all kinds of things. All right, so we're going to start with the DIY party board. And we're going to make a party hat. So on the board, it actually tells you, you know, all the different projects you can make. I think there's a dozen of them or more. And then it tells you what size to cut your paper to and which of these templates that you need to use to make that. So the party hat says 9x9 paper, and you can cut it to 9x9 if you want, but I'm actually not going to cut it because you don't have to cut it per se, as long as it's larger than the size that it says. So, and this tells me I need to use A11. So this is my A guide. So I'm going to take the B off because I don't need that one right now. And here's my C guide. It tells me I need C3. So A11. And if you'll notice, there are numbers right here and pegs. And those are the numbers that correspond to these here. So this is the A guide, and it needs to go on number 11. So there's little holes there. We're just going to press it down on those pegs. And then it says C3. So number 3, and then you find the number 3 peg on your template, place it on there and on there, and then we're good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn this paper this way and just slide it in. And there's a little guide down here. Whoops, that needs to go under. And that's going to tell you where that paper needs to go. All right, so all the way down. This is your blade. This is your cutting blade. Mine's well used, as you can see. And there's a little notch right here, and there are tracks on each of these guides. You're just going to place that notch inside the track right at the beginning there, and then just slide it, and that's going to cut your paper. So cool and so easy. Okay, so once you've done that, we're going to cut down here. So again, just push that little notch into the track and slide. And then we just move these off, and we've got the cone ready to go. So here's my recommendation. We need to glue it. So we're going to kind of roll it up so that the top is super tight here, just like that. And then just line up those edges right there. Okay. So here's my recommendation. When you're working with paper and you're bending or folding paper, and of course we're using cardstock. This is probably, I don't know, 50 or 60 pound cardstock. It's going to want to go back to its original shape. So when you are using cardstock and folding or bending, you're going to need a really good adhesive to keep it from going back to where it wants to be. So I highly recommend hot glue for this kind of project because it will definitely hold it in place. So that's what I recommend. And this is a high heat one. That's, I think, works best for paper. Excuse me. All right, so let me just put a little bit of glue down here. Secure the bottom. All right, so there's the top of the party hat. Okay, super cute, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut a circle that's 6 to 7 inches in diameter. And if you have a circle cutter, you can do it that way, or you can do like I did, and I just took a soup bowl, put it on my paper, traced it, and cut it out. You could use a salad plate, you know, whatever, dessert plate, whatever. About 6 to 7 inches is what we want. So that's going to be the brim of the hat. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it over, grab a pencil, and I'm going to take my cone here, place that right in the center there, and then just lightly trace around it just so that I know where that's going to end up. So I can prepare the hat, the brim, the way I need it. Okay, so now once we've done that, we're going to take our punch. This is why we're using the Punch Anywhere punch, because you can put this right in the center. It's magnetic. See, that magnetizes down. This template allows you to see exactly where that hole is going to punch the scallop circle. Okay, so I'm going to center that in this circle that I drew. And then this top, lines up here. Now, the cool thing is there are notches on all three pieces, so you know exactly where to place it. So it lines up perfectly. That magnetizes down. I always like to stand up when I punch this, 2 hands. And we're going to do that one more time, straight down. Yep. And there we go. Now we'll pull it apart and you'll see that hole right in there. Okay. So hang on to this because you can use this later in class. And what I'm going to do is grab some scissors. I'm going to use small scissors for this. And on each of these points, I'm just going to cut straight back to the pencil mark that I drew, just all the way back there. Okay, so all the way back, just kind of line that up centered right on that little point there. And we'll cut all of these. And while I'm doing this, if you guys have any questions, I don't see any in the chat, but if you, oh, thank you, Jimena, for posting that link. There's your link so you can download that template. But if you guys have any questions so far, you can go ahead and ask them now while I'm cutting. I don't see any at this moment, so everything's pretty self-explanatory so far. All right, so just keep cutting. These are going to be our little tabs to help us get this hat connected, the brim to connected to the cone. Okay, so once we've done that, I'm going to fold these up. Just crease them a little bit. And you don't have to use a scallop circle punch for this. You can use a regular circle punch and just cut little wedges. But the scallop circle punch was kind of convenient because it had the little bumps there. Okay, so now here's a trick. I need to hold this upside down while I am adding the brim to the hat. Okay, this is going to go this way actually. So I grabbed a thin, tall cup. It's plastic actually. And we're just going to rest the cone in there. And that allows my hands to be free while I'm working with it so I don't have to hold it. All right, so we're going to go this way. And these are actually going to fold down inside, but I've folded them back this way so that I can get some hot glue on them. And that makes it a little easier. So I'll just go ahead and I'm going to do like 3 or 4 of these at a time and then squeeze them down before they cool off too much. And I'm apologizing right now for if you can hear any excess noise because my house is under construction and it was supposed to be further along while we were gone on our trip, but the plumbing crew had to quarantine for COVID. Somebody got COVID on the plumbing crew. So he's okay, but we're behind. So today was not supposed to be a construction day. I apologize. All right, we're just going to keep gluing away here. Thank you for just putting a little dot there. And I'm swiping so that I don't get the little spider webs coming off as I glue. That kind of helps to sort of swipe it on the paper. Okay, I'll just do the last 5 here. Done. I'm just trying to make sure that the brim of the hat is flush against the cone as I'm doing this so that we don't have like any weird gaps or anything. Okay, let's see how it turned out. Oh, cute. And here's what I love too, is that as you're doing this, it sort of warps the brim so you get a really fun look. You see how that's kind of a little bit rippled and warped. So fun. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, let me grab my notes here so I get the measurements right, is we're going to add the glitter band right here. So let's see. I'm going to pull from my paper pad. There's a really cute orange glitter paper we're going to use. All right. Back. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut with the A guide. All right, so we're going to put the paper in and we're going to use the A guide again, which is this one that has the blade in it. So we'll line that up here and then we're going to put the guide on 11. So we'll add 11 and 11 and then we're going to cut. Whoop, don't throw your blade, that's a bad idea. Okay, notch in the track and all the way across. Save that for later. And then the next one is we're going to go to a 9. So I'm going to line up the 9 hole with the 9 notch on the board. Same thing on this side. 9 hole with the 9 notch. And then go ahead and cut again. And this is going to give us our band, our border. Save this as well. I love to save my scraps and you're going to need them for this class for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this on. And I'm going to put the ends of the back where the seam is. Oops, wrong way. Sorry. You're going to do it this way. So it's like smiling at you. Okay. All right. So let's start with some glue underneath this piece. Put that one down. And then we'll do the second one. All right. So cute. Look at that. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do is add a sticker. So let me grab one of those layered stickers. We're going to use the haunted house. And here's what we're going to do is what I did is I punched out a scallop circle with the punch from the black glitter paper that's in the 8x8 pad. And then I cut with scissors in between each of these little scallops. Okay, not all the way to the center. I left about a ½ inch there in the center. And what I'm going to do is that's going to give me a little bit of dimension and a little bit of shape to this, a different shape to the scallop circle. So I'm going to take my haunted house layered sticker. They're self-adhesive. They've got like foam adhesive on the back, so they're dimensional, which is really fun. And they're layered, so that makes it even more dimensional. And I'm going to add a little bit of, well, I'm going to add some more adhesive. So this is adhesive foam right here. And we're going to add that scallop circle on the back of the moon. And that is just to basically kind of add some contrast so that the white moon isn't on the white paper. And then it kind of makes the moon look like it's, you know, dark outside. So that's kind of fun. So then I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on the back of this, just right there in the middle. And we're ready to stick that down. So I'm just going to hold this right where I want the front to be and just place that down. Hold it for just a second. Push that foam into the glitter and then just kind of play around with that a little bit. And it gives it some fun dimension. All right, and then on your sticker sheet, let's see, I think I might have used it. Yeah, I did. I love these stickers so much, I actually used it. Okay, so if you look at the one that I finished, I added that little silver ghost from that sticker sheet coming out of the haunted house right there. So that's kind of fun. So I ran out of them because they're so cute. So anyway, so that's the hat. So before we go on, is the paper cardstock? Yes, the paper is cardstock. Let me look at the pad and see if it says what weight it is. It doesn't say. I would guess 50 to 60 pounds. That's what I think it is, but it is cardstock. I definitely recommend using cardstock of some kind for this project because you need something with some substance that can kind of hold a shape. So any other questions before we move on to the next project? We're good. Okay. All right, let's move on. So we're going to make the awards now. So I'll pull these in so you can see. We'll move this board out of the way because we're going to switch tools for a moment. All right, we're going to pull the work all-in-one tool in here. Make these. These are so fun. And I didn't actually finish them off. I ran out of time to do that, but you can hot glue a pin on the back here, or you can hot glue a magnet so that you have a magnet stuck on here and then a second magnet that attaches to it. And then that can be how you attach it to the shirt. And that means you don't have a hole, with a pin. So that's kind of nice, a little safer with kids, or if you're going to use these for kids. So we're going to go ahead and make these. And there's a couple different parts. Obviously there's, the punching, and then there's the rosette. And so I'll show you how to make the rosette, and then the ribbons that are made of paper. And that's where this piece is going to come in. So you're going to want to have a scallop circle from a scrap paper. Let me move my hot glue gun. All right, so the first thing I did is I trimmed from the black glitter paper in the 8x8 pad, or you can use the larger. Actually, I would say, so there's black glitter paper in this pad as well. I would save the larger glitter paper for your bats because you'll need kind of a larger size for that. So go ahead and use the black glitter paper from this paper pad for the rosettes. And so what I did is let's see if I can find my pieces that I need. Yeah, okay. So I cut 1 by 9.5 inch strips. Okay, 2 for each rosette. So you need 2 of the 1 inch by 9.5 inch rosette strips for each rosette. Okay, so, and then let me show you how you score with this. Here's one of my favorite things about this tool is everything is stored on the board. So I'm going to flip this over so you can see. You've got your scoring and bone folder tool. You've got these pegs, and these are used for ribbons, tassels, and pom-poms. And then you've got this guide. This is for banner, envelope, and tag. And I'll show you how to use that in a minute. But and there are even magnets, but I don't have mine on here right now, but for holding your paper down when you're stamping. So everything is right here on the board. So convenient. So we'll pull the arm out. So you can reach all the way up to 14 inches, which is great when you're cutting larger scale paper. And we're going to score. So what you do when you score is you open the arm, you take this piece here, flip it upside down, and put your blade up here at the top, and then close it. And that gives you a nice edge to align your paper for scoring. So we're going to score every 1/4 inch. So we'll just go ahead and do that. 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, 1, and you'll just keep going. And you really don't need to push super hard. This is just to help folding so that you don't get tears when you crease it. All right, so you go all the way across. And because this board only has 6 1/8 inches for scoring, for score lines, you would just flip it over and just keep going, when you need to. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and done that to the 2 pieces. And then I folded them, accordion folded, mountain and valley fold. Okay, so then what we're going to do, let me move this out of the way, is we're going to glue end to end. All right, add a little bit of glue there. Okay, so end to end, just one side, and I'm just going to kind of press that without burning myself. And then we'll glue end to end on the other side as well. So you're making a loop, basically. You guys probably have done this before with your sets, but here's a little review. Now, when you're making rosettes, you can make thicker rosettes. You can score every 1/2 inch if you want, but I didn't want these to get too dimensional, so I stuck with the 1/4 inch, but that means your folding is a little more tedious, so just beware. Okay, so here's where we need this. And what I like to do before I glue it down is I like to give it its shape. So I like to give it some muscle memory, you know, kind of get everything ready. What I do is I press down and squeeze the inside together tightly, push the edges so that it all fits in the center. So that's the idea. So I like to give it a little, you know, prepare it. Here's where you're going, paper, you know, like this is the idea. Okay, and then I put some glue on here. Kind of like a swirl. All right, and then I just sort of like slide this over, squeeze, press while the glue is still hot. And then just hold it for a minute and let the glue cool enough that it'll stay in place. And I keep just kind of pushing it down, flattening it out into the glue. Now, I honestly never get it perfectly centered on that little piece of paper. So if you look at the back right now, I'm sure it's not centered, but that's okay. It just needs to hold it together. That's all. All right. I'm going to blow a little bit in there. Pull it off a little. So, oh, hey, that's not too bad. That is not too bad. Okay, so there's that. And then what we're going to do, what I did is, let's see. All right. So I used the glitter orange and punched a scallop 2-inch circle with the punch. That's my first layer. And then I just used a scrap from this paper and punched the 1.5 inch punch with this one. And here's what I love about these is they store flat. There's a little latch here that locks and unlocks. So when you're done using it, you can store it totally flat, which is great. So all you need to do is just put your paper in and punch. And I've already done that, the 1.5 inch. So using the scraps here. And what we're going to do with that scrap is we're going to add the number 1. So we're going to open up these letter stickers. And you get uppercase, lowercase, and numbers. So we're just going to grab the number 1 and put that right in the center. All right, and then I just used a couple of these little stickers, which I can't find I just had them. Let's see, maybe they're in here. 1 second. Well, anyway, oh, sorry. Okay, so all I did was use the little stars. I used them all up on this one, but there are little teeny stars and little spiders, so you can kind of see. I just added a couple stickers to each of these white circles just to dress it up a little bit. Okay, so, and then I used dimensional adhesive, again, the foam, to give it a little pop. So we'll just pop that on there. Right in the center. And then I'm going to hot glue this onto the rosette. All right. Whoop. Center that. And pop that on. Just kind of squeeze everything down. All right, now we'll add the ribbons. So what I did is I used some scraps from the spider web paper from this hat. When I made this hat, I just used some scraps from that. And then I took some scraps from the orange glitter paper. So let me give you some measurements here. Let's see. So this is 1 inch by 4 inches. And then I just cut angles at the ends. Okay. And then these are 5/8 inches wide and 3 inches tall. And then I, again, just cut some angles. All right. And then I'm going to use some double-sided tape and just layer these. And you don't really need to worry about this reaching up to the top because it's going to be covered up under the back of the rosette. So problem there. All right. And then put some glue at the top of this. And just put these kind of in a V shape together. Like that. And then some more tape right up here at the top. And then I just grab my rosette and stick that on. And there you go. And again, you can add a magnet to the back, or you can hot glue a pin on the back, whichever way you want to do that. And you can do 1, 2, 3 for second, third place. So that's super fun for your Halloween costume contest. All right. So any questions before we move on? Yes, it's a very sturdy paper pack. I have that board and I love it. Oh my gosh, yes, it is. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, you got the navy blue one. That was an exclusive. But yeah, it's so handy. I use it for everything. It's my go-to tool, like especially if you like to craft on the go, or like I often, when my husband's watching a football game, I'll go out in the living room and watch with him. And all I need to bring is like this and some adhesive and some scissors, and that's it, because this does everything. So it's so handy. So if you craft on the go, all you need to bring is this. You don't have to pack like 10 different tools, which is super nice. Okay, so let's move on to I think we're going to do the cupcake wraps. Yes. All right. So I'm going to pull one of these over. Which one? Yes. So you can see. So we've got a wrap, and then we've got a little topper. This is a lollipop stick that's in your class supply list. And I use those because they're food grade, so I don't worry about, trying to put something in there that's, not supposed to be, not okay to eat. So you can use paper straws, bamboo skewer sticks, lollipop sticks. They all work great because they're all food grade. All right, so let's go ahead and make the cupcake wrap first. And that's super easy with this DIY party board. And I decided to use this text paper with all the text on it because this is a great pattern. Like you really don't need to dress it up. So I'm going to pull this back in so you can see, like, it's got enough going on, that pattern, that you don't need to add anything else to it. So that makes it really easy for me. All right. So if you look on the board, cupcake wrap. Now there's also an option to do a mini cupcake wrap too. So that's great. So you have both regular size and mini. So the regular size, it says A9. So we're using the A guide, we'll put the E aside, and then C6. Okay, so C, and we'll put the 6 peg into the 6 hole, and then A9. So we'll put the 9 hole on the 9 peg. Oh, we're going to have to do this separately. We can't do this one together. So we'll start with the A. Okay, and then we'll take this paper, slide it down in. And yes, it's not going to be straight because we're doing it at a 45-degree angle, but I think that's kind of cool. Like, I like having the text at an angle. Pretty fun. It gives it some motion, some movement. Okay, so we'll go ahead and slice this. And then we'll move this out of the way. Keep that paper right there. And then we'll put this back on number 6. 4, 5, 6. Oops, I've got it on the 5 hole. There we go. 6 and 6. Okay. And then we'll just slice. And here's a tip. Okay, so this is your cupcake wrap right here, right? You've got this left over. Guess what this makes? This makes a perfect cone, and you can put treats inside it. So hang on to that. All right, let's hot glue this. Just put some on that one side. And then what I usually do is I do about an inch overlap, and that's generally about the right size for a standard cupcake. All right, so there you go. See how fun that is? Now, if you do like a solid, you can definitely do that, but you may want to add like another, layer or something, decorate it a little bit. But when you use this cool pattern, this text, that's all you need. You don't need to add anything. So that makes it easy. All right, so now let's make the cupcake topper. And we're going to do that with the DIY party board. And it's really easy to do. So we'll pull out the guide that's in the back here. And this is super cool. So first of all, it's magnetic, and this board is magnetic, so it holds itself down. Second of all, you've got instructions for envelopes, banners, tags, and tabs on the back, and then your measurement charts for envelopes and banners on here. All right, so we're going to make the smallest size banner. And so that's a 3-inch banner, and it tells me to cut my paper to 3 by 3 inches, which I've already done. I'm using this really pretty burnt orange, dark orange color. This is in the 8 by 8 paper pad. And then it tells me to align it on the guide at 1 1/8 inch. Now when you put this down on the board, you're going to line up the tag arrow here with the tag arrow on the board. And there are little teeth at the top that fit into these grooves, and that just helps you get everything lined up and everything stays in place for you. Okay. So this paper, and I'll flip this over because we're going to be cutting. So we want a flat surface with the little ledge there. All right, so it tells me to line up. Now, just so you know, just so we can get our bearings, this is the top of your banner. Okay, so it's going to end up being a triangle banner. So this is the top, and you're going to line up that top left edge at the 1 1/8 inch mark, which is what the guide says. Okay, right here. So 1 1/8 inch. Ooh, I've got that wrong. Hang on a second. It's the top. Oh, guys. Okay. I knew this was going to happen. So I'm totally jet lagged and I'm not making any sense right now. We're not making tags. I just had a feeling that at some point in the class, I was going to do something really silly like that. Okay. So we're actually making banners. So we're going to line up the banner arrow with the banner arrow on the board, put the teeth in the notches. Now we're in the right spot. And this is the top of your banner. Again, triangle banner. This top left corner goes to 1 1/8 inch. And now we can cut and it will be exactly right. Sorry about that. My boss emailed me and she's like, "You're a rock star for being up, you're whatever, so tired." And I told her I am not responsible for what I say or do not say in this class because I'm totally jet lagged. Okay, so then all you're going to do is flip it over. Again, remembering this is your top. Keep that top there, flip it over, line up the left corner at 1 1/8 inch. And then all you need to do is slide and you are good to go. There's your banner. Okay. And you can make 3-inch all the way up to 7.5 inch banners. Now we need some holes. So you've got your hole mechanism right here, and it's got these angled guides here for the banner. So it gets your hole in just the right spot. So we're going to just line this up against the back there and then slide it over until this edge is on that guide. Punch, slide it over. Get that edge on that angle guide right there. Punch. And now see if you're going to hang your banners, you can do it this way, but we're going to use it as a flag. So we're going this way. And then I'm going to grab one of these lolly sticks and use that. I had a hole cut somewhere. There it is. Okay. They didn't all fall out. All right. And then all you need to do is go in from the top, bend it just slightly, and then in from there. Now, the stickers, let me show you the stickers that I used. I used the boo sticker and then a spider and then 2 of the stars from the flat stickers. So these are dimensional and those are flat. So I like to add, some kind of a little sentiment or saying, and then a couple of decorative stickers. So that's what I did for that. And they each are just a little bit different. Here, I'll pull over the other 2 so you can see. They're each just a little bit different. All right. So there we go. There's that. Any questions? Happens to all of us. Yes. Okay, are there replacement blades for the DIY party board? Yes, there are. And the nice thing is these particular blades are used on multiple tools. The trim and scoreboard, and I feel like there's another one that uses this as well. Yes, so you can easily buy these. They're available at Michael's online and in store. So you can buy replacements for this. Any other questions? All right, awesome, great. You guys are awesome. So let's move on. And let's see, what are we doing next? The bats. Okay, so I don't really need to show you how to do this other than there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can print it on cardstock. I would definitely use cardstock if you're going to use this as a template. Then go ahead and cut around these lines and then place it down on your paper. I usually do it on the back of the paper. Like here's the glitter paper. Let me pull this up. The large glitter paper from the paper pad. I'd flip it over, place the bat template down, trace it, and then cut it out. Here's another option. I have a printer that prints 8.5 by 11. Some of you might have a printer that prints full 12 by 12. But so what I could also do is trim this paper down to 8.5 by 11 and then place this in and run this through so that it prints on the back side, and then I can cut it out. And that just cuts down on a step so you don't have to print, cut out, trace, print, trace and then cut out again. So that's another option that you can do with that PDF. But then you cut them out and you've got these, and I just use some removable adhesive and place them on the wall. Those are super fun for the wall. All right, so that's easy. And then the last one is the gift bags. All right, so let me pull these in and I'll show you the 3 different styles that I did. This is the one I'm going to show you how to make, and I'll show you how to make this tag using the board. And they're so easy. And then here's another fun idea is I just paper pieced a little haunted house for the bag, and then you can just fill it with whatever you want in back there. And then the other one is I used that cool acetate bat paper. Then I used some parchment paper inside and I filled it up with candy corn, and then just loosely tied this bow around to just kind of keep it all together, and added one sticker. I apologize for that noise, you guys. But so I'll go ahead and show you. This is all using the same bag, just in different ways. So I'm going to show you how to make these bags, and they're really easy to do. So let me grab the paper. So you're going to take, I use the ghost paper first. One thing I wanted to show you is the gift bags. It's the perfect opportunity to use the larger scale patterns, the designs, because again, same thing with the cupcake wrappers. Like this is all you need. Like I could just literally put something in here, tie it shut or staple it shut and throw a tag on it, and it's good to go because it's got all that pattern and design on it. So this is a great time to use those larger patterns that are kind of harder to use for other things sometimes. All right, so what I did is I cut my paper down to 12 inches wide and then 7.5 inches tall. Now you can make this gift bag as tall as you want. If you want to go all the way 12 inches, you can totally do that. So you would do the same exact thing. So no matter the height, you're going to use the same instructions for making this bag. So you could do a super short one, you could do a taller one. It's up to you. So 7.5 is what I've done. So we're going to be scoring. So we're going to flip this over again. I'll pull out my score tool. And the first thing I'm going to do is locate the bottom of the bag. So because this has a print that needs to be oriented in a certain way, I'm going to find the bottom. So I want to score the bottom. So I'm going to turn the paper this way so I can score at the bottom. And I'm going to score at, hold on, let me make sure I get this right, 1.25 inches all the way down. All right, so once I've done that, I'm going to turn it back so that it's facing upward, the way that it's going to be when I'm finished. And then we're going to score. The first score is going to be at 3.75 inches. And then again at 5.75 inches. And then what I'm going to do is flip this over. Again, we still got the bottom and the top. And then I'm going to score this at 1/2 inch. And then at 2.5 inches. Okay, so 1/2 inch, 2.5. And then again, this one is 3 3/4, 5 3/4. Okay, so basically there's 2 inches and then a 3 3/4 inch front and back and 2-inch sides. Okay, and this is just a tab for adhering. All right, so now what we're going to do, now that we have these score lines, hopefully you can kind of see those, we're going to do some cutting. So I'm going to cut straight from the bottom along the score lines up to this bottom score line that I did, the first one I did. So I'm going to just cut straight up from the bottom and stop at that score line along all of these score lines. All right, so the score lines for the bottom are just basically to give you a place to cut. It's showing you where to cut. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to cut right here. We're going to make a little tab. I'm going to trim that right off and then cut in an angle just from the edge right to that score line. Okay, so this is our little tab for adhering it shut. All right, now what I'm going to do is move this fold out of the way. And I'm going to crease all of these folds. So we're going to start with the little tab. And then just keep going along all those score lines. And then we'll just fold up these bottom tabs. This is the bottom of the bag. Okay, so now we're ready to add some adhesive. And I'm going to use some double-sided tape. And you want to make sure if you do that, that it's very strong. You can also use your glue gun. I'm just going to put some along the tab here. And then I'm going to run some along through these 3 bottom tabs. So this first tab, we're just going to leave that alone. And we're going to run tape along these other 3 bottom tabs all the way at the end there. All right, so let's see. I think the easiest way for me is to go this way for some reason. All right, so we're just going to line this up right at the fold. Again, my apologies for the noise. All right. And then we're taking the tape, the pieces that have tape, the tabs that have tape, and we're just folding them down and then folding that other one over on the top. All right. And then I put my hand inside and just kind of press down so that adhesive really gets stuck together. And then what I like to do is just kind of fold in the sides a little bit so that when I go to punch it, it's ready to go. And then I'll punch some holes so we can add some ribbon. You don't have to do that. You could leave it open. You could staple it shut. You could tape it shut, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to punch these holes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up this edge. There are centering lines here, and I'm going to use the 1.5 inch line. So I'm going to squeeze that, slide it under, and line up this edge at 1.5. Pull it over just a hair. Okay. And then punch. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Use the 1.5 inch line as my guide. Slide this in all the way back. And then punch. And now you have your holes for tying with a ribbon. And what I did is I used 3 different color twine. You can use whatever color twine or ribbon you want. Orange, black, and white. And I tied them together to tie that shut. I did add a strip of the silver glitter paper at the top there, and just to kind of add a little something at the top. And so let me show you how to make this tag, and then we are done. So the tags you can make any size you want. So you just decide what size your tag is going to be. This is a 2 by 3.5 inch tag. So now we're going to use the tag feature. I was trying to do that earlier when it wasn't time to, but now it is time. Flip that over, line the tag arrow up with the alignment guide and the board. And so there are all these lines right here. And that basically, it really, you decide like how deep you want the angles on your tag. The trick is that wherever you cut the first side, you need to just make sure you line the second side up on the same place. So I'm going to do 1 1/8. I like that, not super deep, you know, angle, but, and then again, flip it over. And then I'm just going to find that 1 1/8 line. It extends out here so that I can match up there and then just slice and see that's your perfectly even angled tag. All right. And then we want a hole at the top. So we go over here, we use the 2-inch centering marks, and then we just punch, and there's your hole. All right. So, and then I just added some of those cute dimensional stickers. Here's where I used up that second ghost because it was so cute. And you know, you can, the nice thing about this paper is the back is blank, so you can add a little note or message on the back. Fill it up with some candy and you're good to go. All right, so the measurements for the bag. Okay, so 12 inches wide, and then you decide how tall. However tall you want. Mine is 7.5 inches tall. Okay, so as long as it's 12 inches wide, you're good to go. So the scoring lines, you're going to take your paper. I don't have, let's see. We'll just pretend this is the paper. So you're going to take your paper and decide where the bottom is. Put that here, 1 1/4 inches. Turn it so it's top and bottom this way. And then you'll do 3 3/4, 5 3/4, then flip it over, 1/2 inch, 2 1/2 inch. And those are your measurements. All right. So hopefully you've got that. If not, be sure to grab this on the YouTube channel. You can watch it back. You can get all your measurements. But I think that's pretty much it. So any other questions? I don't see any. All right. Thanks so much, you guys. I think we've gone a little, oh no, we're just right on time. Perfect. Usually I go over because I love to craft. I love to chat. So thanks so much for joining me. Be sure to share what you make online, again, using the hashtags that were mentioned in the beginning, and tag us, tag Michaels, tag We Are Memory Keepers. And we'd love to see what you make. So thanks so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for your time, you guys. Take care. Happy crafting. Bye-bye.